So, Forsaken is in a pretty bad shape. Well, maybe not, but, this could be for the better, and I'll explain why. I'll just get straight to the point, instead of yapping about it, and I'll just have some filler footage in the background, so it might be same from another video, but that doesn't matter. As you'll surely all know, about the March 18th drama, including, but not limited to, Soul still being friends and supporting a neo-Nazi, Soul distributing and possessing COB Points, we'll put it as that. I'm sure you can figure out what that is, and a ton of other stuff as a quote-unquote harassment campaign, which Soul went on a stage and then eventually onto a YouTube live stream and basically disproved all of it and spoke about it. And, people believed them, you had people like Parlo making videos on it, and we all really believed them, like idiots. We got made fools of, and that's because it all turned out to be true. It wasn't, it was true the whole time, and it's gotten my whole head spinning, and just mentally I'm all turned around at the moment, because I genuinely, I thought they were genuine. I thought they had been a bad person, but had changed and become a better human being, and I had genuine hope that someone had become better, but no, they hadn't, and it's just sad to see, because they were a developer that I looked up to, and I'm sure many other developers have looked up to and want to support and hope to become a better person, but you just can't anymore, because there's no excusing it anymore, and they're just not a good person, and I'll explain why, other than obviously all the March 18th stuff, which is all disgusting in of itself. Because there's even more on top of that now, which is it's just bad. It's not just bad, it's just downright evil. Just evil. Anyway, on to the new drama, because no one wants to hear me just saying how what they did was bad. We'll go from least severe to the most severe, starting off with Ava taking Cerulean, which was just an OC, just stolen from someone, which does suck, and it's pretty bad, stealing someone else's character, but, kind of whatever, because that's just an OC, that's not anything too bad, and, she's still staying in the game, like, don't worry, if you like Cerulean, she's not going to be removed, she's just going to get a redesign. Next is the Chance plushies, yes, the little critter. The Chance plushie was supposed to go to the game. Anything made from that was supposed to go to the game, which really is a shame, because I bought one. I bought one, mostly because I just wanted one, but because I also wanted to support the game. But there is good news. Hitoko and Basil, who are the new owners of Forsaken, are working on getting that money to the game, and they had both exiled Soul from the dev team and Ava, and took over as owners, for obvious reasons. And ever since, more and more stuff has been coming out about Soul, and that's how this whole situation has started. And Soul even got banned from combat initiation, which, if you know some stuff about Soul and combat initiation, you'll know that TAF, the reason TAF exists, is because it's based off their character from combat initiation. And obviously, Soul being exiled from the dev team means characters like Chance, Two-Time, Tav might have to be removed or redesigned, but they're more known for being from Forsaken and so iconic to the game that they're not, because they're so iconic to Forsaken as itself. So they're not going to be redesigned, they're not going to be removed, they're staying, basically. And the money from the Chance plushies, Hitoko and Basil, they're trying to get a hold of it, and they're speaking with Creekcraft at the moment to try and sue Soul for something that we'll get into later. And hopefully, I really hope they can, because they should. Next, anyway, on the list, what happened is the Earth Day Game Pass. Now, if you're newer to the game and you don't know about it, and I mean really new, the Earth Day Game Pass was a Game Pass created for Earth Day, and was supposed to go to charity. And you'd get some skins, with there only being one really good skin, and that was really it. But, that wasn't really why people were buying it. None of that went to charity. That all went to Soul, which is another big part of it. I mean, we should have expected it, since Soul never really stated what charity. I guess the charity it went to was Soul's wallet. And, anyway, Soul, has also been recorded being terrible towards multiple staff members, including just firing Toki randomly, and like I'm just being horrible to another staff member whose name I don't have on the tip of my tongue right now. They took many vacations during development. That's where that charity fund went. But no, they went on multiple vacations using the game's funding, which does sound like a big move, but maybe not that bad because, you know, they were making a lot of money and devs can still work on the game while Soul's taking time off. Maybe, you know, after the drama, you know, take some time off. You know, obviously it turned out being real though, so they don't deserve that vacation. But anyway, if you are a Roblox developer, you'll know how bad that actually is because, for example, during all this rework, let's say they have a new idea for how they want Implant to work. They have to run that by Soul or Ava, but they can't because they're both on vacation, and they have to wait days, maybe even weeks, to even get a response before they can even start coding it, just for them to be like, oh, this isn't working out, and then you got to do the same thing again, which explains why updates have been so slow, other than just skin updates, and that makes sense. So while we were kind of, you know, getting angry at them for, oh, this is all taking ages or whatever, it makes sense now. You know, this is explained, and we owe the staff team an apology. Not Soul, because Soul's a disgusting person, but the rest of them are owed an apology. So, you know, that's a pretty big issue. That's just great. And the big one, which is why they're working to sue Soul, is Soul had taken over $2 million in group funds, and they sold Forsaken to someone who has connections to do big without permission, which is the main reason why they're being sued, to try and get that money back and also to get the game. Now, the person that they sold to, the guy who has connections to do big, he, according to Hitoko and Basil, he's chill and he's not going to be that hands-on, and Hitoko and Basil do not condone pay-to-win aspects. But this is also what Fish said, and we know what happened to Fish. So I'm praying, and I'm really hoping that the same doesn't happen to Forsaken, because Forsaken's one of my favourite games. Maybe I get a bit too mad at it sometimes, but I think we can all agree it's one of the only good games left on Roblox at the moment. I mean, sure, you've all got games coming out like Relentless or Die of Death, pwned by 1400, but Forsaken's like the big one. You know what I mean? That's the big one up there, and there's so many devs for Forsaken who can just have their dream job because of the game, and this might cause them to not have that anymore, which is really a shame because they deserve it, and they have to lose their dream job over just some dickhead who never changed and manipulated everyone and fooled us all, and if they don't get punished for this, they just get away with everything, and we're just here picking up the pieces. Anyway, that's all to come out with the drama for now. Who knows what else is going to come out in the upcoming days. I mean, it's only been a day and this much has come out, so I don't think the drama is over yet. I will possibly make more videos, maybe not. You know, my channel, if you look at my channel, it's mostly just animations, and maybe I talk about an update, like a TAF update, or the two-tone rework. I don't really talk about drama, and I don't really want to talk about drama much. But I'm making this because some people like me maybe might not have seen the drama, or not known much about the drama, and, you know, another video out there, they might see this, they might see Paolo's video, they might see someone else's video, they might see it in the Discord, or Twitter, Reddit, wherever, right? But this exists as a potential way for someone to find out more about this drama. Anyway, sorry, that went on for longer than intended. But yeah, that's all I have for now, and I just hope this ends soon. I really do. Have a good one, everyone.